Charleston is gorgeous. We all know that. But what you probably don't know is that Charleston has over 40 unique neighborhoods, each with different commute times and vibes, and you could pick the wrong Charleston neighborhood and it can turn your dream into a nightmare very quickly. Today, I'm gonna talk about the 5 biggest mistakes people make when they move here, and we're gonna start with the biggest one. Come on, let's go. Let's dive right into the first major issue that affects thousands of Charleston residents every single day. It's the traffic. Somerville to downtown Charleston is brutal. You're looking at 35 to 50 minutes each way, and that's on a good day. During rush hour, it can easily stretch past an hour. I-26 between Somerville and downtown is packed with over 100,000 cars every day. The highways can't handle that many cars, and you feel it every morning. Johns Island also has a major bottleneck problem. There's basically just Main Road to get on and off the island. That single road handles 24,000 cars every day. If you get stuck by an accident on the Stoner River Bridge, you might as well just get comfortable. Now, they are planning some fixes on Main Road, but the work hasn't even started and is not going to start until 2026. Goose Creek isn't much better. You have Highway 52, that's your main in and out, and it's always jammed. Most folks spend 30 to 45 minutes just to reach downtown from Goose Creek. Over 47,000 cars squeeze through that road every day. And public transit really isn't much public transit at all. We have CARTA, but it's limited, and the coverage doesn't really go outside of downtown very well. This makes a car basically required. You have to drive whether you want to or not. But here's what blows my mind. I've seen people move here from big cities to escape traffic, and they end up spending more time in their cars in Charleston than they did before. And while daily commuting is frustrating, it's nothing compared to the summer beach traffic we're going to talk about later in this video, which can literally trap you in your own neighborhood for hours. So let's focus on your daily commute solutions. First, live closer to where you work. West Ashley, James Island, Mount Pleasant, all these spots get you downtown in 15 minutes or less. Also, downtown has a walk score of 94 out of 100. It's almost perfect. It's among the best for any southern city in the United States. Lots of people who live on the peninsula just walk or bike to work. I have friends in Canterbury who bike to MUSC in just 10 minutes. Biking in Charleston is way better than most people think. We have a 50+ mile bike lane and greenway network, most notably through West Ashley. You zip right past all the stuck traffic during rush hour. Many big employers now have bike racks and showers. And e-bikes make this easy for just about anyone. You don't need to be super fit. Now, bad traffic might mess up your commute, but that's just the beginning. By the way, if we haven't met, my name is Matt O'Neill. I've helped over 5,000 families find their dream homes here in Charleston, and I make sure these videos share the way that it's really like here in Charleston. If you're thinking about moving to this area or just want to know more about our amazing neighborhoods, hit that subscribe button now. I post new videos every week with honest advice about living in the Low Country. Now, let me tell you about something that affects your home itself, something that might prevent you from making even the simplest changes to a house you own outright. There are historical architectural rules. Imagine this. You wait over a year to get the okay to pave your driveway, or you spend $30,000 on new windows, only to be told they're not historic enough and you can't put them in. This happens all the time in certain Charleston neighborhoods. Downtown historic Charleston is super beautiful, but super strict. There's the Board of Architectural Review called the BAR, and it controls just about everything. You want to change your windows, your paint color, get a new roof, get ready for paperwork and a wait. Even tiny changes to your home's outside need formal approval. That process, it can drag on 4 months to 12 months or even more, and I'm not kidding. The rules go way deeper than most buyers realize. You can't just put in any windows. They have to be of the era so that they fit the downtown style. Paint colors, you have to pick from historically available colors. Think about the roof. A metal roof is probably going to fit in with what used to be here in Charleston. Even if you want to change your front door, it could take months to get approval. Old Village in Mount Pleasant is exactly the same. The historic district has to review every single new outside design change to historic homes in Old Village. They are serious about keeping everything from the brick sidewalks to the shell driveways. The approval process takes forever here, and there's always a chance they could say no to what you want to do. I've seen homeowners spend tens of thousands on beautiful custom designs only to have the board tell them that they cannot do it. So if you want to get into one of these beautiful historic areas, just get ready to wait for approvals. What's the solution? You can live just outside the historic district, but still close. So in Old Village, there's just outside is Old Mount Pleasant. Literally a street away, You could do anything you want with your property, and you still kind of have that old village feel. Also, you could move to West Ashley. All the charm that you're looking for, but not in historic downtown. You could also check out newer neighborhoods in Mount Pleasant, like Rivertown up Highway 17, or Park West, or Dunes West. These can give you modern and efficient materials, and you can make changes without having to ask permission for every little thing. This is kind of the best of both worlds. You get to live in Charleston without having to be so restricted by the Historic Preservation Society. And you might think that dealing with the architectural rules year-round is frustrating. It gets really interesting. Some of Charleston's most beautiful neighborhoods turn into virtual prisons during the best months of the year. Let me explain why. Have you ever seen those gorgeous houses on Sullivan's Island or Folly Beach? What they don't tell you is that the summer weekends, you cannot leave your house for at least 90 minutes because of the traffic. This is no exaggeration. Folly Beach gets completely packed during the summer. There's only one way in and out, Folly Road. It handles over 25,000 cars a day during beach season. You've got about 1,200 parking spots trying to handle 15,000 visitors to the island. By 11 a.m. on summer, on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's a complete gridlock. Sullivan's Island and the Isle of Palms are nightmares too when it comes to traffic. The Ben Sawyer Bridge and the IOP connector are backed up for miles. Traffic jumps up 400% on the weekends in summer compared to the weekends in winter. I know some homeowners who live on Sullivan's and Isle of Palms. They say sometimes it can take 90 minutes just to get off the island on a Saturday afternoon. If you need to leave for a soccer game or to get some groceries, probably you're just going to stay at home, or you really have to plan. Even fancy private islands aren't safe. I know folks who plan their whole summer around avoiding these traffic jams. Sometimes homeowners don't even want to leave their house on the weekends because it's just a pain. But you know what's crazy? I've heard stories of island homeowners missing their flights because they couldn't get off the island in time, even though they left 2 hours before the flight. So there is a smarter way to enjoy beach life without getting stuck in all of the traffic. What you want to do is live close to the beach, but not on the beach. This can be in Mount Pleasant, really close to Sullivan's Island or Isle of Palms, but not on the island. Or James Island, close to Folly Beach, but not on the beach. So you can hit the beach whenever you want, 5-10 minutes. But if you're not looking to go to the beach that day, you don't have to get stuck in all the traffic. Many of the neighborhoods in these areas also have water access for kayaking or paddleboarding. Plus, you get way more house for your money than paying those beachfront prices. Mount Pleasant has the perfect setup for beach access. Neighborhoods right around the IOP connector are really close to Isle of Palms. So you got that mainland escape route that bypasses all the beach traffic, and you get to have the beach just a few minutes away. But before we move on, I need to warn you about something that's even more sneaky. Traffic is something you can see, right? But the next issue is almost invisible, and it's exactly what makes it so dangerous for waterfront homebuyers. Next, we're talking about a tiny, almost invisible pest in Charleston that can make your dream marshfront home completely miserable for some of the seasons. Most people never even hear about this until after they buy a home in Charleston. It's called no-see-ums. They're tiny bugs that are just basically all teeth, and they plague the marsh areas in Charleston. They're so small that you can barely see them. That's why we call them no-see-ums. They're really gnats, and they bite hard. They're small enough to fly right through normal screen window screens. They come out mainly at dawn and dusk from April through May, and then they come back in the fall months, but really April's the worst. The bites itch, and they're not super convenient or comfortable. So if you want to live near the marsh because it's beautiful, great, but you're also in the no-see-um danger zone. Homes within half mile of tidal marshes get hit the hardest. That includes a lot of James Island, Johns Island, Mount Pleasant, even downtown. And normal bug spray doesn't do much against these guys at all. They can even fly through screened-in porches. So those calm, beautiful spring evenings, that's when they are their worst. And it's when you want to be outside, it's also when they want to be outside. The impact on your outdoor time can be huge with these. I've seen families leave outdoor spaces because they can't use them. Spring evenings when Charleston weather is perfect, it's prime no-see-um time. So the real estate listings never mention this issue, and some people react much worse to the bites than others. I've seen $1 million marsh view decks that never get used because the owners didn't know about these insects before they bought. It's just like a real estate listing that never mentions these bugs. They also won't tell you about the HOA that might fine you $200 for leaving your trash can out. We're going to get into that next. But fortunately, I'm going to share a trick with you that only locals know know about how to deal with no-see-ums, and you're not going to find this in the tourist guide. There is one type of bug solution for no-see-ums, and it is called hemp's lotion. It's not a spray because that DEET spray doesn't work, but go buy some hemp lotion, and that's the brand name, and they don't like to come anywhere near people who have that lotion on. Lotion doesn't have a strong smell. You just rub it on your arms and legs, and the no-see-ums will not be a problem for you. Also, to stop mosquitoes, which can be an issue here in Charleston as well, you can have your yard sprayed for mosquitoes. And you can also install a system that sprays out mosquito misters at intervals throughout the day. Those systems cost about $5,000 to $10,000 to install. This last issue is completely man-made, and it might be the most restrictive of all. Let me tell you about an invisible force that controls what you can do with your property every single day. Some Charleston neighborhoods have HOAs that are so strict, they'll fine you if your grass is just a ½ inch too tall, or if you left your trash can out for an extra day. I'm not kidding. Daniel Island has some of the toughest HOA rules that I've seen. The Property Owners Association watches over 4,000 homes. They'll hit you with fines from $25 to $200 just for breaking the rules. The rules cover everything from your lawn maintenance to where you can put your trash can. The fancy planned out communities in Mount Pleasant really aren't much better either. Places like Carolina Park or Dunes West or Rivertown all have strict HOA committees. You'll pay $400 to $1,700 a year in HOA fees just for the privilege of being told what you can and cannot do with your own house. Want to add a fence or change your yard? Get ready for a review process. Some even require professional landscaping. Do-it-yourself lawn care isn't even allowed in some of these communities. Resort communities take it to another level. Kiowa and Seabrook Island have crazy strict HOA rules. Fences can't be over 4 feet tall, and you have to use certain materials and not other materials. Annual fees can go well over $3,000 a year, plus you might need to join a private club to get exclusive access to some of the pools. Some neighborhoods dictate exactly what style your home even has to be made. I recently saw a homeowner get in violation because the front door was painted the wrong shade of white. Not a different color, just a slightly different shade. But here's the good news. There are some great neighborhoods in Charleston where you can do whatever you want with your property. So the solution is find a non-HOA neighborhood if you don't want rules. Plenty of great Charleston areas have no HOA at all. These neighborhoods often have more character and mature trees. You can actually make decisions about your own property without a committee approval. Many still have a great community feel without the formal restriction. Check out the older established areas. Places like West Ashley, ton of beautiful non-HOA neighborhoods, and older parts of Mount Pleasant like Cooper Estates. These places grew before HOAs became really common. You'll find more diverse styles and people expressing their personal taste. So there you have it. There are 5 major headaches in certain Charleston neighborhoods, from brutal commute times to strict historic rules, summer beach traffic, pesky no-see-ums, and some controlling HOAs. But the good news, for every problem, there's a great alternative nearby with the same lifestyle but none of the same hassles. It's all about kind of matching the right neighborhood for your priorities. This doesn't mean avoiding Charleston, because Charleston's amazing. It means being smart about where you buy. So if you're thinking about moving to Charleston, my team and I would love to help you find the perfect neighborhood that fits your lifestyle. Just reach out to us at sales@mattoneilteam.com. We'll help you find a place that you'll absolutely love in Charleston. And if you're still in the research phase, check out this next video where I rank the best and the worst areas to live in Charleston. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.